So we're going to look at the last couple of examples. So we are going to check to determine whether two functions are inverses or not. So let f and g be inverse functions. Then the following would be true. F of g of x would equal x, and g of f of x would equal x. So in other words, f of g of x means that we substitute g of x into f of x, and it should equal x. G of f of x, we substitute f of x into g of x, and it should also equal x. With example 4, we're going to verify that functions are inverses. So f of x equals 3x minus 1. G of x equals x plus 1 all over 3. So what we do is we take and substitute in where the x is. Either way that we do it. So if we first look at f of g of x, our rule says that we need to substitute g of x into f of x. So we take the function g of x and substitute it into f of x where there is an x. Once we get it all simplified, then the only thing that should be remaining is x. So this is what it looks like. F of g of x, which is x plus 1 all over 3, equals, we take the function f of x, 3, and we substitute the g of x in where that x is. So this is x plus 1 over 3. So we've substituted the g of x in where the x is, minus 1. When there's a 3 on the outside in the numerator and a 3 on the bottom in the denominator, these cancel. So then what we have left is x plus 1 minus 1, plus 1 minus 1 cancel, so what's left here is x. So this looks like they are inverses. We need to try the other way around as well. So this is g of f of x. So that means that we take our f of x and substitute it into the g of x, only in that place where the x is. So g of 3x minus 1 equals, we take this quantity and substitute it into g of x only where the x is. So it looks like this, 3x minus 1 plus 1 all over 3. I took the 3x minus 1, substituted it in where the x was. So now I'm going to simplify what's on top. I have a plus 1 minus 1, that becomes 0. So now I have 3x over 3. The 3's cancel, so what's remaining is x. So we have just verified that these are in fact inverses of each other. Last example, example 5. This is an inverse SAT type of question. Find the inverse of the function that represents the surface area of a sphere S equals 4 pi r squared. Then find the radius of a sphere that has a surface area of 100 pi square feet. So, first thing that we need to do is to find the inverse. Which means that we're going to solve for the other variable. Which is r. Pi isn't a variable because pi has a numeric value. So we're solving for r. So our equation is S equals 4 pi r squared. Our goal is to get r by itself. So we have this 4 and pi being multiplied by r squared. So those are the first two things that we need to get rid of. These are all being multiplied by each other. So we need to undo the multiplication, which means we need to divide. So we can divide all at one time. So we've divided both sides by 4 pi. So on the left side, we have S over 4 pi. On the right side, we have r squared. Now we need to get r by itself. This is r squared. And undoing an r squared is to take the square root. Now most of the time we would look at both the positive and the negative. S over 4 pi. However, this is distance, and distance is always positive. So we're not looking for the negative, so that means we're just going to look for the square root of S over 4 pi, which is positive. So we have found the inverse here. The next thing that we're asked to do is to find the radius of a sphere that has a surface area of 100 pi. So we are given surface area of a sphere is represented by the S. So we have the 100 pi that we're replacing for the S. So we need to find the radius. So S equals 100 pi at this point. So we're using the equation r equals the square root of S over 4 pi. We substitute our S with 100 pi. So our radius is equal to the square root of 100 pi, substitute that in for S, divided by 4 pi. We can start simplifying. Pi over pi cancels, reduces to 1. So now I have r equals the square root of 100 over 4. 100 over 4 is equal to 25. So now r is equal to the square root of 25. We are only looking for positive measurement. So this is equal to 5. And our units are square feet. So what you have for today, again, out of the book, page 281, you have problems 49 through 53 all. If you are struggling with any of these, please look at the videos again. Talk to people at your table. Text me if you have further questions. So we've wrapped up 5.4, 5.5, and 5.6. So the next thing that we'll be working on is a quiz review, and then we will have a quiz. I'm guessing that our quiz will probably be Wednesday. Friday we'll start our quiz review. Monday we have off. Tuesday we'll come together and work on another quiz review, and then Wednesday we should be able to complete our quiz. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Have a great weekend.